fears of tripping on pop.
Be there! Scour the spaceways! Explore vast alien worlds!
This tin right here contains the whole rigmarole.
I used to smoke about an ounce of hash every day.
Good.
And it made me go a little bonkers.
Maybe if I occupy his mind with more duties, I can control his space.
Hi.
Big fat doobies.
Hi.
Hi. Today is Saturday, October 24th, 2020, episode 218 of the Hot Box. I'm Matt. That's Grand. What's up, Grand?
What's going on, buddy? And this is Vint.
Vint, what's up? Good to have you. All three of us back. Another week. Hotbox.earth, hotboxpodcast.com. That's the website. Check it out. Streaming live through the RDABS subreddit Discord server. You can catch us here every Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And, join us for the show, have some input on what forms the show and everything like that. And, of course, throughout the week, we always have games going on, movie nights, stuff like that, and just good dab sessions all the time here in the Discord. So come check it out.
That,
yes.
I wanna jump in on movie night. I think we are going to do a movie night tonight. However, I do have to go out to dinner and get drunk with my wife tonight. So
Priorities,
it might be a little
dog.
bit later.
Priorities.
I mean, yeah,
I'd like to see a drunk Grand hosted movie night. I think that could be pretty fun.
A drunk Grand hosted movie night. That might be terrible.
Yeah.
Drinking games too.
Dinner and a movie with Grand, Eastern Dankenstein says. I also appreciate all of the spooky usernames in the chat. Real holiday spirit. I love it.
I had to go back to Grandengin because, as an admin, it just made more sense. I've had a few people say a few things, and we've had new people coming into the server. Actually, coming into our first topic, the Dungeons and Dragons channel just started in the Discord, and with the new DMs starting to come in talking to us about possibly creating games in the Discord, I had to change my name back to normal. So if this took longer than Halloween, we could keep the post up and not have it changed.
Nice. So we are trying to, in the very early stages, we'll say, of planning a little live via Discord Dungeons and Dragons game, dab sesh, I guess.
Yes, and actually, I can't say that isn't being spearheaded by our Dungeons and Dragons master Glob Goblin. I'm not sure if he's going to be a DM or not.
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
Sounds like he may not have a choice.
No, but he is definitely spearheading the project.
Yeah.
He's our lead expert on the subject, shall we say.
Yep. Our Grand High Nerd.
Our Grand High Nerd. There we go.
Hell yeah. That's dope. I never played it when I was younger. I had an older brother that played it a lot, and I was just too young to understand. He would try to explain you imagine it. I'm like, well, that's dumb. I'm a kid. I don't want to imagine shit. Give me an actual fucking sword and some dragons and let's do this. But
let's do this.
As I've gotten older, I can definitely appreciate the things that one's imagination can do and the places that it can take you. And so yeah, I think it's a pretty cool game. Now I'm just very not familiar with it at all.
Yeah, it's definitely a nerd thing, and I tried it once when I was 7, and it was 7-year-olds playing it, so it wasn't the real thing. But we tried to learn it, but I'm coming in pretty much brand new too. But hell, we'll try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Vint, you gonna try it out with us?
Maybe. I used to play, but I've never gone through and finished a campaign. We started plenty, could never finish one.
We should do it.
Yeah, I think it should be fun for sure.
Should try it out. Well, moving on next, it is Matthew's birthday.
Was.
What can I ask what day it actually was?
The 22nd. 22nd.
The 22nd. Okay, and the social security number?
That is 389-421734.
Got it.
Excellent.
Okay.
True.
I have credit cards too if you need those.
And the driver's license.
Yeah,
what was the name of your first pet?
I think that makes me the oldest weed podcaster. I'm not sure. I don't know how many other weed podcasters there are out there and how old they are.
I'm pretty sure Willie Nelson does a podcast.
Well, that doesn't count.
How does that not count?
Because he's not. Willie Nelson has people that do a podcast for him. All right, Willie Nelson gets rolled into a damn room, puts a microphone strapped to him, and talks maybe for however long. I'm saying, build the website, record the show, edit the audio, make the kickers for the intros and the outros. I mean, do a podcast, really get into it.
Are we going to hell for that kind
No,
of...
I'm very passionate about podcasting. I've been doing this since '08. It's kind of my thing.
You said they wheeled Willie Nelson.
I'm just saying, Willie's getting pretty old. Willie's dope, but man, he's getting up there. And to say that he does a podcast, I mean, Joe Rogan kind of does a podcast,
Joe Rogan does a podcast.
He does a podcast. I mean,
Was he the original big honcho podcast?
No. There was more not bigger, I should say, but there was bigger for the time before he was doing it, if that makes sense. But now that he is doing it, obviously with the celebrity
he's like one of the
momentum,
biggest,
yeah. He's definitely he hit that bro demographic like right in the throat and just drug them into the ring, and now they're all just like Joe cultists. I don't know. I don't really listen to his show. Duncan Trussell is probably as far into that group as I go.
I need to edit the boof command, so let's put a mental note in here and put in the quote from Willie Nelson that Spoopy Boof Slayer put in.
Oh, nice.
Marijuana, it won't kill you unless a bale of it falls on you.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson.
And that's real shit. Y'all, I don't know if you guys like mess around with moving super sacks, but them are like 500 to 1,000 pounds worth of weed. And yeah, if one of those tips and falls on you, it'll definitely
going down.
It squish you. That shit's real.
Did we talk about the new boof command?
No, we got a couple new commands in the server, right? We got the toke command for people smoking flowers. We
did, and that was a legit command that made sense to me.
And now we have boof for people that are...
So somebody bitched enough and cried enough. Yep. Threw a tantrum and asked an admin, and finally we got boof.
Can we expect to see some dab boof videos on the subreddit or possibly here in dab shots? Do we need a new channel called boof shots? I mean, sky's the limit.
I think the question is how to do a safe for work boof video.
All censored out and shit. I think you would need AI deep fake action, deep faking your beehole into like some other thing, like a dog.
Words I never thought I'd hear today.
Well, now we've done our job then.
This year even.
Right? 2020, dog. Never underestimate.
Oh my god.
Never underestimate this year. You don't know.
That's how Vin jumps in.
But yeah, I got
what the fuck?
I got a new peak for my birthday. Shout out to my homie. Came by for some cake and shit, and then got me a new peak. And I gotta say, I've used the original one, and I've heard a lot of people's complaints about them as far as like the atomizers breaking and all that shit. I never had any of those problems. I don't know if it's just my luck or I just treat technology with like a little more respect than that. If you look, my cell phone has 0 cracks on it, so I know how to treat my technology, so maybe that has something to do with it. I am a little anal about like cleaning things and stuff when it comes to like dabs. I don't like sticky things getting on other things and making everything sticky. So
this podcast is going amazing.
But this thing's pretty sweet. I gotta say, the only beef I have with it is this. Like, the fuck is this? You send...
Bro.
How the fuck am I supposed to... I don't even have an outlet close enough to something I can set this thing on to
They charge him like $400 and couldn't give you a 3-foot cable.
Facts, right? Like, what? That's not even a foot. That's a 6-inch cable.
Oh, my face hurts from laughing.
That's my only beef, though. The app is pretty dope, and when we're doing our dab break here in 10 minutes, I'll take a rip out of it. But I'll show you guys. I went through and set up the app and everything, so it'll take a sec to connect. It'll wake up the peak, and there you go. Now you see it's connected. I've named mine Peekaboo. Very original, I know. And it keeps track of your different profiles. It tells me that my bowl temperature is currently 70 degrees F, which is cool. It like constantly in real time monitors the temperature of it. And it says I take about 7 daily dabs for a total of 10 dabs since this thing has been been working. So it actually keeps track of how many dabs you take and shit, which I thought was pretty cool. It's got your different heat profiles, and each one of these you can edit. So I've gone through and changed some of them. For me personally, 35 seconds is a little bit too long to keep it that hot. I don't need to dab that long, so I dropped everything down to 30 seconds. And then I've been using the medium or high, which is 520 or 550. And it gets it there, and then it holds it there 30 seconds, and then
Eastern Dank
drops
says
it off.
800 for 15 seconds.
I'll do 900 for 8 seconds. Do
Do
this
it.
rodeo style. Now, actually, I don't know how. Let's see how
Let's go.
hot.
Can you handle the 8 seconds?
I want to see how hot this thing will actually let you take it.
All right, we're gonna test heat
620.
clean.
620 is as hot as it goes. It looks like.
620.
Yeah.
That ain't that
Fahrenheit.
hot.
So.
That's kind of low.
The carb cap, the other thing I really like, I know a lot of people were making like spinner caps for the Peak and then having like little tiny pearls and stuff. This new version, it's a piece of glass that attaches into this rubber grommet, and then when you load it, you close it and it kind of seals. And it seals like really good. Like it won't like flop off until you actually open it. But somehow, and I haven't, it's just a piece of glass. I don't know how it quite works, but this thing with the little sight glass in it will spin a full-size pearl like nobody's business. Like super fast. It's pretty impressive. So yeah. And your old Peak attachments work for it. That's my old Glassmith pocket bottle that came off of my old Peak. The new Peak glass does not fit on the old Peak glass, which is weird, but the old Peak glass will fit the new Peak. But I put the new cone that came with this onto my old base, and it was like pretty loose. So it's kind of odd, but yeah. I don't know if it's worth, like I said, I got it as a gift, which I'm super grateful for. I don't know. I was doing a lot of reading about them, and I couldn't really justify the improvements and the price, like to buy another one. I don't travel that much anymore. Like it just doesn't, I couldn't really justify it. Now that I have it, I think it is definitely a lot better. I still don't know if you already have a V1. I don't know if like it would be worth it to you to get a new one. They are pretty nice though. I definitely gotta say it feels more solid. The button feels more solid. It has a wireless charging base. If you spend another $80 or $100 or something, you can get that, which will also charge your phones if you use QI wireless charging. So that's kind of cool. I don't really know.
So it kind of seems like you could get any QI base that would charge it.
Yeah, probably. I would assume so. I wouldn't trust it. Like I would be more comfortable using the one that came with it. But if all the technology and the standards are the same, it should work, and it should know how much juice it can handle and all that. For me, like wireless charging, unless it's something I'm leaving overnight, like I need to plug it in. Like my phone, it needs the cable because the quick charging, even though the wireless charging is supposed to be quick, it's definitely not as quick as the cable. So this is like the Pixel stand charger. But
dude, my wife got me a wooden one of those that like sits on my desk over here that has got like a pen holder on it. It's actually cool as hell.
Does it charge, or it's just a holder?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it charges.
Fuck yeah.
But it's a wooden too. It's kind of cool.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. A little bit bigger of a dish. Not that much bigger, but a little bit bigger. And the glass it came with was a little bit bigger, but you still can only put like a little bit of water in it. So I don't know. But yeah, pretty sweet. It lights up crazy too, and the app has like a lantern mode that kind of lets you fuck with the lighting, kind of like if you've ever messed with like a Philips Hue light or something. That app, it lets you change all the colors.
That's
and
pretty cool.
The strobe effects and all that shit. So it's got all that stuff in the app that you can
make it feel
with.
all fancy.
Yeah, it's all fancy pants.
Fancy.
But yeah, I don't know, pretty sweet. They've definitely improved on it. Whether
that's
or not,
definitely a sick ass gift to get.
Yeah, right. I was like, no way, dude.
Like, that's fucking sick. Like
super great.
Like you said, I don't know if I would buy one for $400, but it's a fucking sick ass gift to get. Like that's nuts. Like,
yeah,
I'm jealous.
And then I ended up, because I mentioned last week, I think, that my buddy I work with is going in to have his brain tumor removed this week. So he was kind of talking to me about like wondering how he should be able to dab in a hotel room, because he doesn't have like a Peak or an E thing or anything. He's just like torch, and he's got a Chappelle piece and stuff. So when I got this, I was like, well, shit, you can have my old peak and like go. I showed him how to use it and everything. Go like get well in the hotel. Like he's gonna be there for a few days before the surgery and stuff. So if you guys can help, definitely not expected to. I know times are tough right now for everybody, but the link to the GoFundMe there is in the Discord, and I'll put one on the show notes at hotboxpodcast.com for this episode. If you guys want to help out, definitely appreciate it. Any other server updates and stuff, or should we get right into the RDAB subreddit?
We have a new member. Well, yeah. He's been on the show before, but he just changed his name recently. Birch of Dabs. Chabs, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Birch of Chabs. We have a new member. I just wanted everybody to know.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, Birch of Chaps.
I'm around.
What an asshole.
Fuck you.
User Alyssa P22 posted a meme I think we can all relate to. The little owie, my life that's falling apart, and then the Band-Aid is always
I see that.
an unnecessarily huge dab. And they said that my rig is my therapist. And I thought that was very apropos because a lot of us, like, when we get stressed out and stuff, like, our rig is pretty much who we go to before we hit up our significant other or a friend to talk to. It's like, I need to get my mind right this way first, and then I'll come talk to you about it if I feel I need to. So I thought that was a pretty good one.
But first, dabs.
But first, Debs, but before we discuss this, I always thought that was a good thing, too, if you're in a relationship and both parties involved smoke, is that whenever an argument starts, it's really hard to do in the moment, like when everyone's pissed and, like, passionate and shit. But, like, if you can stop, no words, no speaking, smoke a bowl, smoke a joint, smoke a dab each, and then resume whatever that conversation was going to be, you'll have a more positive experience, I feel like.
So
it's hard to do, though. Like, when you're getting yelled at,
Yeah.
sometimes you can't be like, stop, hammer time. I need to go dab real quick. You may get something.
Dab time.
You may get something thrown at you. Like, it all definitely will depend on your relationship. Right.
So my wife doesn't smoke, but obviously I do, and I have. She's not around, but just in case she listens to the show, I'm not going to say trained, and because I like having sex and stuff. But
Sure.
But she knows that if we're arguing, I just need to go smoke and then come back in and we can talk it over. Yeah, that's
But
a good way to say
she-
it without getting in trouble.
But she doesn't.
She does not smoke. She used to, but she every now and then she'll like eat an edible, but
Okay.
she's not really a big smoker.
Yeah, I feel like this works for best results. Both parties involved, I think, need
Probably,
to
yeah,
partake.
because then they
but
both chill out instead of one side.
It's like you're over there smoking a joint, she's over there taking shots of whiskey, and then comes back and just punches you in the face, and you're like, peace and love, baby. She's like, fuck you.
Glob was talking in the jam hole.
Oh, yeah, where the jam hole will be tonight, actually, at around 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when the baby goes to bed, we try and do the jam hole.
Who's hole?
Nice.
The jam hole.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
We should be
sure.
having the movie before then, and then maybe we'll try to lead it right into the jam hole.
That'd be dope. We'll try and be ready. It all depends on when. The
No,
kid goes to bed.
it'll definitely be before the jam hole. Yes. I won't do it during.
You fogged up glass posted
You
this
fogged up.
cool. You fogged
Wait.
up.
Wait.
You
wait,
real
wait.
fogged up.
You real fogged up. You
User-
real fogged up.
User fogged up glass. That's a pretty cool username. Posted this cool little spinner I thought was neat. We've been seeing a lot of spinners in different shapes and sizes. And I know a lot of cats here are all about the Imperial spinner candies, so I thought this isn't made by Imperial, but I thought it was a pretty cool little spinner piece. The Worm Pearl is what it's called. It's made by Wallander Glass. You can find them at Wallander_glass on Instagram. WALLANDER. But yeah, been seeing a lot of stuff like that. I also saw a pretty funny meme. I don't know if you guys follow Sour Waves on Instagram, but he posted some thoughts about terp pearls and other fun spinny objects people put into their quartz. I'll just leave it at that. But if you follow Sour Waves, yeah, I'm sure you can just only you can imagine what the post said. But,
You know, this talk about spinning pearls and terp pearls makes me thirsty.
yeah. Oh, it is that time.
Goddamn right, it's that time. How dare you make me wait?
Oh, a minute late. That's funny too, because he made me wait
That's
last
60
time.
seconds. I could have been dabbing.
All right.
60 seconds. That is unacceptable.
I'm vaping flower.
Sour tangy though.
What are you vaping, Vin?
I got some true OG flower with some D8 Disty on it.
Ooh.
Do you
look at
ever
being all
smoke
fancy.
anything without D8 Disty on it? I feel like that's
Sometimes.
like really.
Yeah.
That's not.
Are you
true.
sure?
Sometimes you
That's
just
not true.
gotta have the D9 alone, you know? But it's best mixed with everything. Gotta have all the noise.
All the noise.
All of the noise. So you're smoking some sour tangy, you said?
Yeah, some Willamette Valley alchemy here in Oregon. Some
Hmm.
sour tangy.
I got some Mac
Super
1
nice.
myself from Herbal Healing. Ghostbusters Farm, which is decent. Nice farm in Michigan. Oh, all right. Are you ready, my friends? What do you gotta like heat that shit up first now?
No, I'm waiting on you, dog. I'm
You're
right
waiting
here.
on
I'm
me.
ready.
All right, fine.
What are we
Let's
hitting
go
this
into the
at?
ad
Should we
then.
just hit it
Hold
at
on.
590? Fuck it.
590. Damn, you going in hot,
He
son.
likes it spicy, bro.
Yeah, he does.
This episode of the Hot Box is brought to you by Gary's Glass Adventure. Go to garysglassadventure.com and check out his shop for any of your dabbing needs. Gary's Glass has quality German quartz and bangers of all sorts. They come in all sizes, 10, 14, and 18 millimeter. Also available are quality ruby pearls and rigs from a variety of artists. Again, that's garysglassadventure.com. Use promo code R/dabs710 to get 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Sweet Piece of Glass. Spog is an amazing website with lots of great pieces and a large assortment of accessories from artists like Chappelle Glass, Unlimited Glass, and Glassmith. Quartz by Jake Miser and J Red Glass. There's almost nothing you can't find from Spog. Matt always takes care of his customers, and if you're in the Discord, he'll often give you a deal. So join the Discord and check out his shop to pick out your very own functional piece of art. He can be found at sweetpieceofglass.com and in the Discord.
Oh, there, big boy.
Oh, it's so
Right
good.
there, hot shot. That was a pretty good hit. I'm not gonna lie. Mac one's tasty. It does kind of have that like floral, citrusy taste. I will say. Now that I smoked it a little bit, but I always kind of taste that like that gassy aftertaste. That might be the CRC.
How dare you?
What do you mean? Everything's like CRC now, bro.
This sour tangy's not.
Oh, well, I know for a fact this is.
What? You mean you're not smoking on solventless?
No,
How dare you? You'll get the heavy boys mad.
that's okay. I don't. If they want to pay for my solventless, I will smoke it. Until then, eat my nuts. I'm getting high.
Well, speaking of solventless, user Flual Preuf, I'm sure I pronounced that right, posted a quarter, some straw nana stash, some full spec live rosin. I thought it looked
that looks
pretty nice. If you're looking for rosin, like that's kind of where you want to be as far as like tone and consistency.
Yeah, that is
look.
looking really nice.
It says, they say, I love the effects of full spec, much more body effects, and has that entourage effect.
Yeah, full spec's very nice. It's always a nice hit. It's always a lot more expensive though. That's my only complaint.
Yeah. That's why I don't smoke it. It's not worth it to me for cannabinoids and terps.
Right. Like for somebody who's just trying to smoke and get by instead of fucking spend all of their goddamn money on it. For somebody who has like kids and shit in a house and bills, you know, can't always afford that shit.
Yeah. I feel like even if I could, I don't know. I started out in hydrocarbon, so that's kind of where my love lies. Before like rosin was really popular and stuff, and I've just always really good fresh frozen, super clean hydrocarbon, like distilled gas, not just like straight out of the fucking bottle or whatever. Like I feel like it just gives you like a really nice flavor profile. Like the colder you can get it, and if you're doing like liquid nitrogen terp extractions first, even better. Like I don't know. For me, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I enjoy.
I still like those too. I'm not saying I don't like rosin at all, but I see nothing wrong with a good BHO.
I think too, a lot of it is that when rosin was first starting to become popular, the majority of it was garbage, much like we see with CRC. You know, a lot of it, the good shit is like amazing, but like everything else is pretty much just garbage. And I think I definitely had a few piss poor experiences with people, like at the weed club, for example, and they'd be like, oh, check out this rosin I just squished, and then it's just like the worst tasting shit ever, and just like chases your banger no matter how low temp you go, because all the plant material. And so granted, like a lot of that stuff is remediated by using hash to make your rosin and stuff, or even just really nice filtration when you're doing it. But back then, like there wasn't really much of that, so I don't know. I just got a bad taste in my mouth from it, and I can see now, thinking about that, like why a lot of people feel the way they do about CRC, and why I'm like, well, you're just a fucking idiot. But like they say the same thing about me, where I'm like, oh, rosin sucks, and they're like, well, you're just a fucking idiot, because
well, I think rosin might be a little bit different though too, because it definitely has a lot different taste. It like I don't even want to say you taste the fats and lipids, because I have no fucking idea what fats and lipids taste like. Does anybody know what fucking fats and lipids taste like? Like, can you?
No.
But you can. There's a different.
Crisco.
Like,
Eastern Tank says Crisco.
Crisco, shut up. Yeah.
I mean, you
canola,
got Wesson, like what?
Going back to what Murphy Murray was saying a while ago, like she was saying the rosin preserves some of the esters that BHO like just can't get.
Sure.
So that provides some of the flavor too.
Yeah.
And the effects.
Yeah, it's just a different taste, and it has different flavor profiles to it.
Let me ask you
which
that.
are very nice.
Is that extra bit of terp and possible minor cannabinoid, whatever, worth the $50 more per gram it is versus
my argument for the whole thing is the extraction processes yield about the same amount. So why are they so different in price?
No, it's a lot more work.
Though.
I think
the
it's
a lot worse.
Yeah, and it's
rosin.
more work.
No, rosin, it's like 25 to 30%.
But that's after you get the hash, and then you're not counting all of the work
that's
goes
off of
into
flour. Off of hash, it's 50%.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Then because we live in a capitalist society where everyone's out to make a buck. For the patients.
Like,
It's also a lot of it is a lot of hype factor, but the yields are worse when you're washing, and it also doesn't translate in sizing up as well as BHO does.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a huge factor as well. Is I found that usually big presses don't yield as greatly as small, like micro presses. But that's just my experience in it, because I've pressed rosin before too, and like I used to get 30%, and that's like what got the attention of my dispensary, and they were like, "Wait, come press for us." But I could just never figure out their fucking machine. But
That's a bitch.
dude, it was for some reason my $30 press that I built from fucking hair straightener and shit from Home Depot with a fucking drill vise and stuff made beautiful goddamn rosin. But a $500 setup, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. You see a lot of that in the weed lab game. People with just so much like crazy expensive unnecessary gear that some asshole talked them into buying, and now they're like, well, I guess I have this now and I don't know how to use it. Cool. Spoopy Boost Slayer says rosin is almost much more earthy for me. BHO is always sweet somehow. Like Blue Dream earthy. Hell yeah.
Very, very good description, actually. That's pretty spot on. It always has that, like, kind of, earthy, like, fatty, lipidy taste.
Don't say that. It's not. I'm gonna send you a gram of fats and lipids, and I'll let you dab them, and you tell me what they taste like.
Is that legal?
Sure. There's no cannabinoids in it.
Okay.
Let's see. User.
Are you just gonna jerk off in a container and send it to me?
Hey, that's for me to know and you to find out.
As long as it's hemp-derived fat, right?
This is Matt-derived fats and lipids. User Vict AAA123 posted some accidental dab art. I thought it was kind of cool, being a mycologist connoisseur.
Accidental
can appreciate.
dab art?
Yeah, it's a little dab. After you can kind of see maybe where they were scraping out dabs, and it turned into like a little mushroom. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh.
So just wanted to.
Or a very deformed wiener.
There you go. Thank you, Grand. Thank you for that.
You are welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I thought this was kind of cool. This gentleman's been going out and doing dab hikes and making dab hike videos. User Skunky420. So I just wanted to bring some attention to that. He's got a YouTube channel called Skunky Hikes. And I watched this one earlier when I was putting the doc together. And there's something like real soothing about it. And I thought maybe you guys might appreciate that. Because it's like nice view of like hiking, like you're kind of there almost, and like the soothing music and stuff, and then he's kind of explaining the area and all that. Like I thought it was pretty cool. Nicely done.
After he smokes, the look on his face is
yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah. He like busts out a peak. I think it's a peak or a Carta. I don't. It looks
like a peak.
Out there at Stevens Creek Reservoir. So just wanted to bring some attention to that. Thought that was pretty sweet. And cool. I also wanted to mention this cat because he comes into the Discord every now and again, and he just always has like the nicest pictures of pressing. User Rosenberg, right? Shout out Rosenberg. Hands up if you're a fan of that guy. Like he comes in here and posts his pictures.
Is he in the Discord?
He is sometimes. I don't know if he's like currently in here, but I always see him pop in every now and again when he's got some new stuff to share. But I like because he shows the flower and then like the finished product. Like you get to see the flower that it came from, which I always thought was kind of cool. Like usually when you're doing like live resin, fresh frozen, like the flower doesn't look that great because it's been crammed into a micron sock and it's been frozen. So it's not like anything you'd be like, oh, look at this flower I'm about to extract. But yeah, the way he does it, I thought was pretty cool. So if you're not following him,
phenomenal.
It's not from our dabs, but it's from our rosin. So I just thought I'd give them a shout.
That looks phenomenal. Holy shit.
But like check his profile and like go through all of his stuff. He's got some beautiful pictures in there.
I think he has a website too.
Oh, does he? Nice.
Really? If you find that, post it in here for him.
But that one was a GSC press, I believe, the one in particular that I posted. So,
you know what? Actually, we should add him and ask him if he wants to be on the next show.
Yeah. He might be into that. Some people are like pretty like secretive about having like their voice or their video out there. So I don't know. He seems like he'd be the kind of more secretive, but maybe definitely holler.
He says because Eastern Dank just says, please feel free to ask me anything. I'll be happy to try and help. My press notes from various past presses, rosin pressing basics, and his press equipment. Damn.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna like ask you a bunch of noob questions. We just thought it would be cool if you wanted to come on and talk about your shit.
Yeah.
You do cool shit. And then before we get into some news, user Isaac Mart 420, I guess, in the path of some bad weather. I don't know if this is like the New York storms or no, Nebraska, he says. But posting a little scoop before the storm. Which I thought was pretty awesome because, like, most people, like, when a bad storm's come and you're like, all right, I need batteries, I need water, I need all, like, food and shit like that.
Nope,
dude's like, no, dog, I need, like, all these dabs.
I need, like, an ounce of dabs and we'll be good.
I appreciate where his priorities lie because I'm pretty much the same way.
Fuck food for your family and shit like that, water and stuff, you know.
If I don't have dabs, like, y'all are going to be real unhappy.
Y'all are going to be dead anyway.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, it's just some stuff from the R Dabs and obviously R Rosin for Rosenberg's post. So definitely throughout the week, check it out. Post up some stuff that you find or that you're making or smoking or dabbing on, whatever you. In the news, Aurora getting their first adult use dispensary open, the Zen Leaf. That was kind of cool. It's always cool to see these towns getting the first dispensary open and everything. Ribbon cutting ceremony commemorated the launch of Zen Leaf along a high traffic commercial corridor bordering Naperville. Company and city leaders say the facilities create new jobs and is expected to generate substantial tax revenue for Aurora, where up to 4 dispensaries are allowed as special use. Social responsibility was a goal of the zoning regulations passed nearly a year ago in the community, disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs, Mayor Richard Irvin said. Zenleaf operator Verano shared the same commitment, Irvin said, and was the first to address city officials about opening a dispensary in town. They say the company kept all of its promises. Through Zenleaf's investment in Aurora, residents and visitors now have safe legal access to regulated cannabis products sold at contemporary dispensary that provides jobs for residents and, of course, all that sweet, sweet tax revenue. So, yeah. Pretty sweet. Shout out
Is this recreational?
Aurora.
Is this recreational or medical?
Adult use, recreational.
Recreational medical. Wow. Recreational marijuana. Wow. Okay. So they're just open to the public, huh?
Open and wide open for those sweet, sweet tax dollars. And I've saw a couple articles. I didn't put them in the doc, but it was like, I think New York was one of them talking about how before, like, they didn't really care or want any of this weed nonsense in their town. But now, because of COVID and how it's just, like, wrecked a bunch of those economies, they're like, we'll pretty much do anything we can to get some money flowing into the economy. And you see the studies that are like everything going down. And even South Park touched on this in the pandemic special where Randy was like, oh, my weed business is like killing it right now. I'm sorry, everybody else's business is like completely suffering. So, you know, weed being one of those things, I'm sure alcohol kind of in the same boat as far as like things that people will get regardless of what's going on. If they're in a pandemic or like an asteroid's coming, like weed. Yeah,
people will get their vice.
The vices, right?
People will get their vice.
Now that
that's how they deal with shit.
Now that these economies are struggling, these towns that prior to this had like moratoriums or just no laws at all are like wanting it to come in and like kind of hoping that it'll save their town, I guess. I don't know. It's very ironic.
Well, hopefully they just let everything like go and just fucking make everything recreational shit. Just fucking legalize
at this point. I mean, federally, just once they drop that, then all of the interstate plans can happen. Like, things are going to happen real fast once that happens. It's going to be
it will.
Pretty exciting to watch. Jefferson,
for now, we have to wait.
Jefferson City, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. They're investigating a complaint that a particular medical marijuana product purchased at a state-licensed dispensary this past weekend contained mold growth.
Uh-oh.
Weed with mold in it? No.
Fine in your lungs.
DHSS said because of the state's programs, regulations, including the seed-to-sale track and trace requirements, that all of the patients, caregivers, facilities, everyone associated with the product batch has been notified and asked not to use the product until the investigation can be completed. They say the track and trace system is greatly aiding our team in this investigation, allowing us to quickly identify and notify all who may be impacted by this particular batch. So that's kind of an example of these programs that are a monstrous pain in the ass, but they do have some upsides, right? Like when product gets some nasty shit in it, they can like hit a few buttons and like notify everybody. It's just like when your car has a recall or something. Like, if their insurance company deems it worth letting everybody know, then yes, we will tell you.
deems it worth everybody knowing. Jesus Christ.
Well, isn't that, I forget what movie that's from, but isn't there's like this equation that they do, and if it's like worth, if it's going to cost them more than like a certain amount, they just like, they're like, no, we're not gonna issue this recall. Keep it hush hush.
Maybe. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, we live in a terrible world.
If you could prove that, couldn't you sue them?
I don't think so, because it's I mean it's their game, right?
For like millions of
dollars. Who are you gonna sue?
That's the world.
The world.
Just everyone. Let's just sue everybody.
Grandengin versus the world. Will the world please take the stand?
You guys all suck.
You've been accused of being complete shitheads, greedy, corrupt, warmongering fucking criminals.
Case has been made.
They say initial visual inspection of the remaining product from the relevant batch has not indicated a concern, but this additional laboratory testing is underway as part of investigation. And they say that there were no other concerns or adverse reactions that were reported from the more than 200 individuals who purchased the product. But to holler at the DHSS if you are one of those people that did, and if it's making you sick, let them know.
Maybe they just mixed up the products that are meant for boofing and smoking.
Yeah, you want the mold products to go through the
poofer.
Through the poofer. Spoopy Boof Slayer says acceptable rate of failure. Yeah, something like that, right?
Right.
And they do the math, and they're like, this isn't worth it. It's not worth letting them know.
Acceptable rate of failure.
I think this was the article. It was Cuomo saying about how weed legalization could help with their budget issues. And his comments on the future of recreational marijuana came during a virtual event that he held back on October 15th to promote a book he wrote, American Crisis, which details his efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic. He literally took the quarantine time to sit and write a book about how dope he was during quarantine and how awesome he helped everybody. What a dick.
Wait. How does that work?
Well, I mean, you're not doing anything, right? Because you're locked down, but so you just write.
If you took all that time to help everybody, how did you write a book?
Well, he wrote a book, and that helped everybody. The Democratic governor was interviewed by Bravo television personality and producer Andy Cohen for viewers who paid $35 for a signed book and the right to watch the event. Cohen asked Cuomo,
right to watch the event.
You purchased this right. He asked, when is New York going to legalize marijuana? And Cuomo said, soon, because now we need the money. We are so fucked.
Really?
He said, I've tried to get it done in the last couple years. There's a lot of reasons to get it done, but one of the benefits is it brings in revenue. And all states, but especially this state, we need revenue, and we're going to be searching the cupboards for revenue. And, I checked these cupboards, and I didn't find any revenue in there. There's some ramen.
We got to start selling drugs.
We got ramen. There's no revenue, though. He said, I think that is going to put marijuana over the top. Huh. Now, 2020, you think that?
Coke next, Cloud says.
Weed advocates and some Democratic lawmakers have been pushing the state for years to allow recreational use of the drug in New York, following the lead of 11 states that have already done so. He entered office in 2011 as an opponent of legalization, both for medical and rec purposes. Interesting. In 2014, he reversed his position on medical marijuana and signed a bill into law legalizing it. So, can't fault him for that.
Should we be happy or mad?
That it took him that long, or that
he came in as an anti-pot, and
I feel like everybody
changed his mind.
I mean, the majority of people back then were. So I don't know if you can blame him for just following the rest of the lemmings. I don't know. I know we were. We knew better back then.
Should you be mad at somebody for not backing it, or should you be mad at somebody for changing their mind?
I struggle with that because, some of those people honestly and legitimately only know what their government told them. And, if if that's all they were ever exposed to, how would they know any different? So I can't really, I mean, you can make the effort to like do your own research and stuff, but if it's something that doesn't really concern you, you're just going to accept what the government tells you, because if you're of that age and of that generation, like the government's never done you wrong. They're like there for you, you know, like we're all one and everything. But like nowadays, if you still hold that opinion nowadays, I definitely think that you that's like you're bad. But I feel like these older people that didn't really know any better, I know that's kind of a cop out maybe. I don't know. I have a hard time with that. But
yeah, as Spoofy says, no change is a good no change is a good thing as long as it leads to actual benefit.
Yeah,
I agree, but at the same time, like,
is that benefit going to be a brand new Mercedes for this guy, or like is everybody gonna benefit? You know.
Well, my kind of, I agree that change is a good thing, but my view on it is that you need, if your beliefs are that strong coming in and they change, should we be listening to you?
I think you should know enough to know that you don't know about that sort of stuff and to maybe have an advisor or somebody that does. But I don't know, because that's just like one small aspect of being in Senate or being a governor or even being a mayor, right? Like it's not, your whole thing isn't just weed. So I don't know. I feel like if he's good at other shit, then cool. But if not, then yeah, get him the fuck out and have somebody in there that's like agreeable with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think the whole system is kind of fucked.
And now you know.
You know.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Just kind of watching the pandemic help weed slowly get legalized so that it can be raped for all of its tax money. I guess that's good. I don't know.
At this point, that's fine. Just fucking, yeah. Like the pants are down. Let's just stick it in and go.
It sucks that it's been so negative for so long, and we're willing to be like, oh, any small little positive note is like perfect, you know, when like we shouldn't really be settling for like bullshit laws that are written so that only these handful of people get rich off it or whatever. Like we shouldn't have to settle for that kind of shit. But and some states aren't, right? Like the last big voting cycle, when some of the states had rec on the ballot and voted not to include it, whether that was because it was just a bad law to begin with, or if it was because some people are still just weed haters, I don't know. But you know, there were some states that were like, no, this isn't the one for us.
Could it have been the misinformation too?
Oh, it's always the misinformation, bro. Shit. I mean, true. What other kind of information is there?
Spoopy says it was only ever about the money for them, and I agree. Yeah. It's only ever going to be about the money for them. It's all it ever was. It's all it ever is. It's all it's ever going to be.
Yeah, it's like weed finally crossed that threshold where it was more lucrative to sell it than it was to jail people for buying it, and then everyone kind of like pivoted, and they're like, oh yeah, no, weed's good. Let's legalize it. Cool.
Wait a minute, we can sell this shit?
Fuck
for
yeah.
a shit ton of money, and y'all are gonna smoke it?
CIA over there, like,
let's do this.
Yeah.
Dude, crack.
Been doing this, LSD, hello. Been doing this for decades, bro.
Who do you think did this?
I thought this was kind of interesting. A study out of Phoenix says since 2012, 11 states have legalized marijuana use for adults. Oh, why do you keep giving me this? I'm even using uBlock Origins, like you guys suggested, and it does work a lot better, but sometimes it just like, you'll be reading something and it'll just take you to a different page and you're like, fuck.
You won.
It's so aggravating. Since 2012, 11 states have legalized marijuana use for adults, which voters nationwide are considering on their ballots this year. Researchers are now just beginning to understand the effects of these laws. Says Colorado and Washington were the first states to legalize the drug, and California became the most populous state in the nation that followed them. Among the most poignant concerns were with legalization are whether it has caused more young people to use the drug and whether more people are dying in auto crashes caused by impaired drivers. Data show little change in either area, which is exactly what we've always thought. It's like the people that smoke weed and get too stoned to drive know it, unlike alcohol drinkers who will just drink and be like, keys, let's roll out. You know, like
right. It's somebody who's too high is like, dude,
yeah, like no, I ain't going out there. I don't even want to.
I need like 30 minutes with this blanket.
Facts. Like I'm not even going outside.
Just so warm. That's fucking.
But that's good that
hilarious.
there's actual data now showing that.
And I don't want to say this, but I kind of do at the same time. I've always been the person that's never been too high to like. I felt too high to drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could smoke fucking down, and I still feel like I would be like once you get behind the wheel, you're like, oh. Okay, shit needs to get happening, you know?
I just get to a point where I'm, like, more cautious the higher I get.
Right.
Because I'm like, damn.
Like, you're going like 69 and a 70, fucking right between the lines, both hands on the wheel, checking your mirrors and shit like that. And
well, I don't know. That always looks sus to me. So I'm doing, like, 72 in a 70 or 73 in a 70. Try not to look sus. It says surveys of young people in Colorado, for example, show a slight decline in the percentage of middle and high school students using the drug. In Washington, the rates have remained the same. Opponents of legalization say the risk is too great if young people are given the impression that marijuana is not harmful, or if drivers become lax about getting behind the wheel when they are high. States with legalized marijuana are finding more drivers impaired by the drug, but that comes in part because they're looking harder for it. Interesting. You're finding something that you're looking harder for? Interesting. Colorado, for example, did not track the level of marijuana impairment of drivers suspected of using it until 2016. Washington saw an increase in drugged driving before legalization that continued after the drug was permitted and has seen more fatal accidents with people on multiple substances. California data shows an increase in people driving while on drugs involved in fatal accidents.
Tosses joint out the window, holds breath.
Yeah. That's good. You kind of got to be in the chat to appreciate that one, but yeah.
Eat the joint.
Eat the joint.
Just eat the joint.
That's true.
Officials in those states, they're hesitant to peg the increases on legalization, and researchers have not shown an increase in total traffic fatalities tied to the changes. I think, like, how many of those are, like, just straight up people on their phones, but then nobody wants to fess up that they were on their phone, and unless they're, like, actually going through the phone and looking at, like, timestamps and shit, like, do they, I don't even know if they do that, but...
I think they will if there's, like... some shit went down, you know, like you fucking hurt somebody bad and shit. They want to fucking know. They can, but I don't think they're going to on any fucking whim.
But then that sucks though, because then like if you drug test these people, like I'm sure most of them are gonna have weed in their system, regardless of if it was smoked that day or like a week before. And,
right.
And then
I think it should be the active THC mouth swab test, to where you can actually tell if they just smoked and they're high and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like
they need a swab
like,
that they can.
Like for me as a medical patient, where I have to have some kind of THC in my system at all points in times. Not that I'm high, but like I'm fucked if I get drug tested or something. If I get in a car accident, it's like, well, I have like a prescription for it, so I'm fine. But at the same time, it's in my system. So how the hell does that make any sense?
You just can't drive or have guns. But at least
I can own guns, I just can't have them in the place where I have marijuana, which is completely stupid, but at the same time understandable.
Yeah, I mean, you've clearly never faced down an acre of weed plants all packing AKs, obviously.
No, I don't want to.
If you had, you would know that weed and guns is no joke.
Yeah, that is true. Weed and guns are no joke.
The weed will literally grab your gun and shoot you in the dick.
True.
And that
happened to me, man.
Yeah, see? Happened to this guy.
We took my nuts off.
Weed took my nuts off. Hey, Rosenberg in the chat. What's up,
man?
Yeah,
Rosenberg in the chat.
Yeah, we got to try and get you on the show next week. We'll hit you with the details after this show. But, yeah. It says the state's legislation would allow people in Arizona 21 and older to possess 1 ounce of marijuana, not more than 5 grams of which can be a concentrated form of the drug. Adults also can grow 6 plants in each of their homes, and the measure would license about 160 retailers to sell the drug. South Dakota, New Jersey, and Montana voters also have similar measures on their ballots. So it's happening. This year is going to be, we're going to see a few more states go legal. I've been getting messages from my friends in Montana that are like, we're going to legalize it this year so you guys can come back home. It's like, I don't know. I kind of like Oregon now.
No shit, right? You like it out there in Oregon, even though
I do.
The fucking place is burning down?
I do. Well, no, that's all done now. But I do, and I especially do now because the car that I have would definitely not fare any Montana weather well at all. So I don't know. I kind of need to stay here for a while at least. It is beautiful out there, and I do like a lot of my friends, and obviously my brother and my mom are out there. But yeah, I don't know. Cool, yeah. I don't know if I'd go back. I definitely dig this Oregon thing. We'll do one quick search and seizure before we get out of here.
All right.
780 pounds of weed found in a trailer of a truck pulled over in Lake Los Angeles. A deputy was just patrolling the area. He was just cruising Avenue J8, just rolling by. He stopped this Ford F-150 that was towing a trailer that emitted, quote, a very strong odor of marijuana. While investigating...
You don't say.
Yeah, that's...
You don't say!
Officer Sherlock Holmes here, just cracking the case. While investigating, the deputy discovered more than 780 pounds of pot just chilling in the trailer.
Okay, I would like to point out that that's not 780 pounds of pot. That's probably about...
It is wet. I mean, if it's wet, right?
It's wet, and there's also, like, full-on fucking arms of plants in there.
That
like,
shit looks fresh as fuck.
Stems in there.
Yeah.
Like, that just looks like a harvest thrown in there. So that's probably, like, a good amount. Don't get me wrong. It's a goddamn truckload.
It's like 50 pounds when it's dry.
Yeah. Probably like 50 pounds.
Spoopy Booth says it's our mobile dehumidifier. Eastern Dankenstein says, Officer, it's just pre-run. Fuck, man. While California law, it says 2 people were in the pickup at the time, both arrested on suspicion of transporting marijuana. While California...
Marijuana is hard to transport.
Right?
You're an idiot.
While California allows possession of a small amount of weed, the amount in the trailer that was being transported exceeded the legal limit for personal use, unfortunately. Quote, this was an unheard of amount for someone to be transporting and have in their private collection. The amount of marijuana seized may very well be a record by the department. So, congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I can make my shit a record too if I weigh it wet. I can make like one plant like produce like 30 fucking pounds, bro.
Yeah, it's all water weight, officer.
It's all water weight.
All water weight.
Throw some metal in there, shavings, you know?
And I mean, at that point, there's really no good way. I mean, you could bag it all up, I guess, but it's still going to smell, I feel like.
Yep.
That's just like poor timing, I guess, with the cop just happened to be behind it, smelling it. I don't know.
Yep, you're screwed. Just you got screwed.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hotboxpodcast.com. That's the website. You can find the show notes and the episode embedded there from YouTube. And obviously, we have a YouTube channel. And if you're not in the Discord, come hang out. Our Dabs Discord. The link is on the website and on the subreddit, of course. You can find it. So check it out. We're on Stitcher also, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Anywhere you get your podcasts, search for the Hotbox Podcast. You'll find it. And we'll see you this evening for an episode of The Jam Hole, probably around 9 p.m. Pacific time, maybe a little after that. And we'll be back here again next week, Saturday, maybe with Rosenberg. Have a little chat.
Yes,
have a little chat about pressing some flour. So, all right. Vinter, thank you for joining us. Grant,
thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
It's fucking dab time.
Dab time, y'all. Peace out.
Dab time. See ya.